Alright, and welcome everyone to the finals of the Historical Rivalries Cup. So, we've got our two teams here, but most importantly, we have a co-caster for once. Say hello, Lilith.
Hi everyone! Welcome to the fresh new perspective from someone who hasn't played Age of Empires in over half a year.
But still has plenty of grudges regarding Doubt Micro and such things, so I feel like that's more or less the basis for what you need to be involved in the game.
Pretty much, yeah.
Alright, cool. So, after a long bracket, we finally got our way to the finals. And here on the left, we've got Noelle playing as the Sicilians and Ofelia playing as the Burgundians. And on the other side, we've got Dragon here in the yellow, playing as Byzantines, and Ning as Persians. So, here's a fun thing, Lilith. This is the very first time Sicilians and Burgundians have been picked in this entire tournament. Or banned, for that matter. They've never been banned.
Oh, I see.
Because every other match has been played before the most recent patch, and in the recent patch, Burgundians have gone from maybe the worst civ to one of the better ones.
Okay.
One of the big things they added was, basically, nowadays, Burgundian eco-tax cost 50% less food, which is on top of their earlier bonus that they could get them 1 age earlier, so they can now actually get those.
Oh, right. Yeah, I still haven't looked into the Sicilians and Burgundians too much since I stopped playing before them. But I do remember those ecotechs looking very tasty.
Yeah. They're definitely odd civs, and it's going to be very interesting to see these two play them. Because, like, Byzantines and Persians are... I mean, they're both from the very start of the game, and they're very... You know, I love my Persians, but they are very basic.
Yeah.
They do their thing, and they do them well. But Burgundians and Sicilians have a lot of things that could potentially knock that out of whack. For example, I believe, if I remember correctly from testing, I believe... Sicilian knights actually cost-effectively beat camels because they resist bonus damage.
Oh, that's true, yeah. No, that's a very good point for sure.
Yeah. And I think that has a lot of potential here, because both Persians and Byzantines, both of them do get camels, and
yeah.
Persians get fully upgraded, and Byzantines don't, but they do get a discount on them.
Yeah, that's a good point, definitely. I'm also only noticing that right now that the only person who hasn't gotten her second boar is the dragon right now.
Yeah, that's true. Looks like. Getting up a mill pretty early. Looks like...
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not going to be taking it yet, but... Yeah, I wonder if the others might be... Because both Sicilians and Burgundians, they tend to be played with scout openings. Burgundians, like, I'll be real honest, I don't know Burgundian build orders, because the whole ecotech thing makes them very weird. But Sicilians are pretty bog standard when it comes to scout opening, and their scouts are really good, because again, resist bonus damage, so it's harder to counter them with spears.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can imagine you get some really good raids in with the early scout rush.
Yeah, for sure. Like, the thing about scouts, right, is you can just run away from spears, so it takes so much work to actually pin them and kill them with spears, and now, with Sicilians, it's even harder to actually get the kill when you do that.
Yeah. No, that is a very good point.
I was thinking that Ning has... Oh my god, she's going pretty hard on the walls already.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, she's going at it for sure. I'm a little surprised that she's going for the back wall first, but I suppose that makes sense too.
Yeah, but ironically not even going to be in time as Noelle sneaks in a scout here. Yeah, Ning doesn't have Loom yet, so this scout could actually, if she finds a good target, she could pick off, but getting very close to the TC! Oh.
Yeah.
Gonna take a few scratches, but not too bad. Ning is getting her scout cabin though, who herself has apparently taken some damage. Must have missed that.
Oh, and she's cornered, so... Oh!
We're gonna have a fight.
No, there is an escape attempt.
Yeah, okay. Just quick skirmish and then see you later.
I forgot all about the excitement of the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, this is... I mean, it's something. We have 2 damaged scouts, so that's it's a little bit of a difference, but yeah. Nobody really wants to commit to that, which makes sense. But yeah, I have noticed that Dragon and Ning are... I believe I played Ning in Queen's Clash, and both times I showed up at like 20 pop, and I was like, oh, okay, she has full walls.
Yeah, I was going to say she's really early out with that wall, and she's really good at getting it completed early as well.
Yeah, like she's put 3 villagers on walling right now.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, a little bit. Ophelia is now also causing trouble for scouts. We're having a lot of hostilities there. The one big thing I'm noticing with Dragon's Walls right now, though, is that her gold there on the bottom right is super rangeable if either of Ophelia or Noelle go for any archers whatsoever. You can just put a single archer or even just a single skirmisher in there, and that gold is no longer accessible.
Yeah, exactly. No, that is a very good point. I suppose the stone isn't too important though, but yeah, that gold is definitely gonna hurt if they go for range.
Yeah, but we're all seeing... Let's see, Noelle's the only one who's gone for a very quick feudal here at 19 vills. Everyone else is going for 22 popped in total. So Noelle is first in there, and as we mentioned before, we are seeing some Chinese text because we got it from Ning and Dragon. Stable, stable immediately after Noelle. Ophelia, I have noted before in my cast, she is one of the hardest boomers I've ever seen. So she has a barracks out, isn't producing anything from that yet. Well, I'm curious if she's actually just gonna, like, she might just try to wait and see what she needs to produce. She has a scout over here at Dragon.
Oh, she's going for a watchtower by her gold at the very least, which I think is a very good idea.
Yeah, that's the second part about Ophelia. She loves her towers, and like, she has not really a good idea what's coming yet, but she's just saying this gold is a little bit exposed. I'm not quite as into walls as my opponents are, so I'm just building a tower instead.
No, and I think that's very sensible too if she's heavily into booming.
Yeah. Well, Noelle, for her own part, having gone up to feudal first, already has 3 scouts out on the field and is looking towards Ning, who is fully walled. Ning is noticing and is actually chasing Noelle's scouts.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm a little surprised that she wanted to engage with that.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's gonna get away, but it's 2 hits away now from dying.
Yeah. We could have seen a little bit quicker micro from Noelle, and we would have gotten that scout for sure.
For sure, but that scout is effectively out of combat.
Yeah.
Like, still can do scout. Oh! Oh, that was close.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Gonna get away still, though. And let's see. Looks like Dragon...
Oh, this is brave. Yeah.
Yeah, Dragon is...
1 HP away on the scout.
Yeah, but is starting to wall up behind. Spearmen are coming out now, so looks like Ning is also just gonna play the defensive role here. So we have 1 aggressive player and 1 defensive player in each team. Dragon sending a scout forward now towards Ophelia, and then the classic archer plus spearman combo. That could be very dangerous for Ophelia. Like, yes, she has the tower protecting her goal, but those berries... Like, the entire right side wall is not close enough to force them towards the town center to
exactly
be smoked there. Yeah, I think she might just lose the... Like, to be fair, she doesn't have too many berries left, but after the berries is an entire wood line. In fact, all of her wood is being collected over here.
Yes. No, that was something that I was thinking about earlier as well, that once those berries are gone, it's not really gonna look too well, and she's thinking the same thing, because here's another tower.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I saw she went to stone really early, and like, sometimes you see people do that just to compensate, because if you build 1 tower, you can't build even a single TC with your starting stone.
Exactly.
But no, it's just more towers.
It's more towers. We're keeping those boys safe.
Yeah, here comes Ning's scouts though. There's a single spearman out, but that's gonna get roasted by archers here. Trying to build another house to force them towards the town center fire, but... Looks like she's gonna be safe for now. Yeah, it's all gonna depend on these towers. How much protection can they actually offer?
I mean, they can certainly offer a lot of protection in terms of that specific eco, but we still have unprotected stone, and we still have that entire right line which can be harassed as well.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried because like she was setting up so all of these house walls so they would be directed towards the TC, but I was curious if she was gonna over chop the forage bushes. But it looks like she's just gonna say, you know what, I've had enough berries. And Noelle's been walling heavily, but
not in time.
Yeah, no, there come the scouts. That's gonna be some villagers lost right away. See if Noelle has the quick walls and. 2 vills down right away, and I mean these are 6 scouts. One of them is really damaged, but still, I suspect 4 villagers are not actually going to be enough to do there. At least walling in her second wood line over to the right, so she's going to have some safety. But here come the archers.
Yeah, no, something that I've noticed is that Noelle is currently going on with her raiding as well. I mean, she was so close to getting in as well, but Ning managed to just put down the house.
Yeah, just barely enough multitasking there to get through.
Yeah.
Noelle is also on stone, so maybe he's trying to copy Ophelia's strat here, but oh lord, that's quite a vil difference already.
It is, and it's also incredibly micro-intense because she has her north wall to worry about. She is losing a few straggler villagers. All the while she's trying to No, actually she's parked her scouts, so she's at least given up on that micro for now.
Yeah. No, honestly, at this point, the scouts themselves are not going to do much. But yeah, getting a little bit of damage in on Dragon's archers, but I mean, that's... 1 dead wood line, and yeah, important thing about Sicilians, they don't get towers, they get donjons, and they cost a little bit more stone, 50 extra in fact.
Yeah.
And they take longer to build too, I believe. The stone miners are gonna go down, and to be fair, through all of this, Ophelia's getting up to Castle Age. Burgundians can get Cavaliers in Castle Age, and can be really dangerous.
That's a good point.
But will it outbalance all of the villagers Noelle has already lost?
Yeah, that is quite a concern, and while Ophelia doesn't have any pressure on her whatsoever, her teammate can't really say the same. Looking to lose that dungeon if she's not careful and cancel it to time.
Yeah, but there's only 50% left in there, so the resources she'll get back are going to be so few.
Yeah.
And now she's at the point where like a good amount of her farms can't even be used because of the archer fire.
Exactly. No, this is looking dicey for sure, and she's essentially gonna have to hope that she can hold on long enough for that Ophelia boom to come in.
Yeah. But the really scary part now is that Noelle's down to 20 villagers, the next closest is Dragon with 37, and we're up against 2 civs that can both spam camels against the Burgundian Cavaliers. Ophelia does have 3 stables up, so she's definitely going for it. And oh, 1 dungeon does go up here on the left.
It does. I noticed that Noelle brought back her scouts, but they're a little bit locked out, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's the worst possible wall in that sense. They let the enemies in and kept the friends out.
Yeah.
And that's just what's gonna happen when you're under this much pressure.
It's a mistake that happens to all of us in life.
Yeah. Sometimes you wall out the wrong people.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Ophelia, 2nd TC right now. I'm gonna put it up next to her tower, just for that extra little bit of protection. Again, Ophelia is so fascinating. Like, she's a 1900 player. I believe that's in the top 500 or so. And she just hates walls.
Has she considered playing Huns?
That's a very good question. It's just like, it's so weird to me that she loves towers and she loves booming. 2nd town center also, or 3rd town center now coming up on the northern woodline. Again, next to one of her towers. She loves booming and she loves town centers, but she hates walls.
A very strange combination. I have to respect it, but it is strange.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, throughout the rest of the tournament, this has worked really well for her. I just think Dragon and Ning they've played a lot of team games together. They're very well practiced, and I think they can take advantage of Ophelia's greed a little bit more than certain other teams have been able to.
Exactly, and we do have camel riders coming out from Ning as well. So we got some going on there, and we have a pretty large Byzantine crossbowman unit over here as well. So they are looking to apply some pressure onto Ophelia, but that might be a little bit hard with the Cavaliers.
Yeah, so far I've noticed, like, in a lot of games so far, as it looks like we're gonna have a first big fight with Burgundian Cavaliers, they are fully upgraded apart from Iron Casting. There's a little bit of hesitation, but then the engagement comes in here. Dragon, it was not paying attention immediately here, and is gonna lose a good amount for crossbow mass of this, and that's a lot of damage gone.
Yeah, and it's basically the main support too for the Camel Riders. So basically repel that entire attack just due to a little bit of inattentiveness from Dragon.
Noelle's in here too with her free scouts just trying to distract here. She's on her way to castle too, but her military and her economy is not in a great place. Also, that bear was following those crossbows for like a solid minute and a half.
Again, very persistent units in this game. Even Gaia wants in on this. Okay. And alas, the scouts have served their purpose now.
Yep. Now quite the execution there. Oh boy. Yeah, Dragon has gone up to 2 TCs now, and Ning is working on 3 Persian TCs, which is gonna be working 15% faster each. So that's gonna be a really powerful boom. But is it enough to counter Ofelia putting up her 4th TC like 4 tiles away from her 2nd one?
Well, we're gonna have quite the villager production at the very least.
Yes, very much so. There is a monastery coming up from Ofelia now, and Burgundians do get pretty good monks. They even get food out of their relics too, if that's the plan she's going with. The problem is, how well is she going to be able to micro both her cavaliers? Because the problem is right now that if she's going with cavaliers and monks, she has to be so precise in her micro, keep cavaliers away from camels and keep monks away from crossbows.
That's gonna be interesting for sure, and I'm noticing that we're trying, Noelle is trying for catching up. She's got some knights going. She finally got a new TC out as well. But we're probably still looking for a couple of minutes where she is just working on catching up again. Yeah. And in the meantime, we're just gonna hope that Ofelia manages to hold off a little bit. Because I can understand it can be very tempting to try and engage while you're looking as good as Ofelia is doing with her cavaliers right now. And at the same time, we do have the threat as well of some very, very... I wouldn't say bored, but they look very entertained, these camel riders, when they're on patrol.
I have brought this up in many chats, but one of my favorite parts about Age of Empires 2 is how tippy-tappy the camels are.
They are very tippy-tappy.
One of the fastest units in the game, but they look like they're having like a little walk on a catwalk or something. Ofelia is sending her cavalier forward here, though, and there are only really palisade walls defending Ning here. No castles, no defensive forces. There's, what is that, like a total of 6 camels, but oh my god, there's a hole! There's a hole in the wall. Ophelia's in, starting to massacre. There's a quick reaction from Ning, but she has to bring her camels forth.
That is quite a lot of dead villagers.
Yeah, and it's so important for Ofelia to do this, because if the pressure keeps up, she can't keep up with 2 players going up against her alone. This is so important to her. But
exactly, yeah. And I will say she pulled back very well there.
Yeah, saw when the camels were swarming in, realized, okay, there's a point where this is getting too risky. If I lose all my military here, even if I take out 40 villagers with them, I'm just gonna die at home. But Dragon is those...
Oh, she is. And not only that, but Ning's camels are starting to swarm pretty well. I'm starting to wonder if it is AoE 2 or StarCraft that I'm looking at here.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if camels spawned twice at a time and took up half a pop unit. That would be quite the thing.
Oh dear god, Franks with camels. What a nightmare.
Oh, and Ophelia's not paying attention at home. She's losing a bunch of cavalier, and there's going to be a monk lost here too. That's the problem when you're trying to raid and boom from 5 town centers, and also trying to defend.
Not only that, but I only just noticed the dragon put down a forward siege workshop as well.
Yeah.
Which is A little bit concerning, mildly concerning to say the least.
I like that in the middle of all of this, with her 2 villagers that were building the siege workshop, she's actually attacking the TC too.
Oh, she is getting full value out of her unit right now.
Yeah, no idling whatsoever.
Yeah.
Ofelia is moving up to Imp 2 though, and one of the really important things about Burgundians, super cheap paladins. They get half off of that tech, and with Cavaliers already researched in Castle Age, that means you can get paladins so quickly. But is it enough against what's gonna be Arbalests with Bracer in just a second? And this quite impressive camel army tippy-tapping all around.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna be honest. While I've noticed that Ning doesn't quite have a lot of upgrades on her camel riders, I don't really think she needs to either. Not only she has that amazing Arbalest army from Dragon, as well as the 2 battering rams that she has to worry about as well.
Yeah, and if Ofelia wanted to try going for monks to convert some of these camels with Arbalests with Bracer, that's just not going to be a realistic thing. Noelle is trying to tribute Ofelia into getting more Cavaliers out on the field, but Capped Ram is in, and they're gonna go for the TCs now. There's no castles to defend here, and
that is GG.
Yes. Yeah, no, really impressive pressure coming out from Ning and Dragon right away in the first game. One of the problems I've seen with other teams too is that Ofelia and Noelle have a strat, and it's a very mean strat, but it works, where they essentially leave Noelle to die as bait while Ofelia goes on like 5 TCs and just booms her brains out. And it's worked so often, like even with Noelle just dead. But Ning and Dragon, either they've studied this or they just have enough game sense to realize that, okay, Ofelia is the higher ranked player, we have to put pressure on her too.
Yeah, one thing I was thinking of was that they managed to get such a good early raid onto Noelle that even with all those tributes, even with the small bit of harassment from Noelle, it wasn't enough to even remotely affect Ning and Dragon when they put their minds together to take on Ofelia.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, it's really tragic too, because I think when the raid came in from Ning and Dragon, Noelle had like maybe 4 or 5 pieces of wall left to build. The timing was so unfortunate, but it really shows you that like there's a reason Ning and Dragon wall so early, because it doesn't matter if you have a 99% wall finished. If there's 1% unfinished, there is no wall.
Exactly. Something that I learned the very hard way a lot of the times in the past.
Yes. Alright, well, let's start loading into the next game, which is gonna be Golden Swamp, which is one of those maps that is... I don't know if I hate it, but it's close. Honestly. It
will never be a fortress for me.
No, that's fair. We all have those maps for sure. There's a reason I keep some things just absolutely permabanned.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me when you're in. I'm at 1 second, but can of course delay should you need to.
Alrighty, 1 moment and I shall do just that. Let's see here. You said the Golden Swamp, right?
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Then we shall load into that. And how many seconds in were you?
1 second.
Alright, there we go.
Okay. We go on 1. 3.
Yep.
2. Sorry, wait, let me do that again. 3, 2, 1.
Alright.
Yeah, and we're getting right off the bat here with Golden Swamp. So, it's I would describe it as pretty complicated. Because it is a hybrid map. You have both land and sea on this map. You have a bunch of water buffalo right around your starting TC with all of the... Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 or so in total, I think it is. So I have seen people pick Tatars or Britons on this before because it's just so much food. A water buffalo is 150 food as compared to a sheep that's just 100.
Exactly, and another thing that I've noticed as well when I used to play this map is that the 2 rhinos, they're always next to each other, so you always know that if you find one, then you found both of them.
Yeah, and they tend to be forward, so maybe if we see some sneakiness here, there might be a lame coming in. Ning is already picking up her first rhino and doing the house trick just to avoid some extra damage there. But yeah, Golden Swamp can get really complicated because it is a hybrid map, and there is fish. Also, sorry, capture just lagging for me for a second. Okay, I think I caught up. What time are you at?
I am at 2:11.
Okay, could you pause for a few seconds?
Yeah, 2:15.
Yeah.
And this is exactly why we don't use capture aids, because who needs more information when you can just have a well-placed timer?
Fair. 2:15, right?
Yes,
Okay,
that is correct.
Go on 1, 3,
All right.
2, 1.
1.
Okay, so yeah, it is a hybrid map, and there is fish around this big sort of central swamp lake thing, whatever you want to call it. But there's not that much. So if you can't go like 4 lakes or like a proper water map, you can't go too hard on fishing ships. But it is a valuable resource.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I feel like the most value you can get out of it really are just the outer fishes. The inner one I've never had any luck with when I played this map. I did try to go for fishing ships, but it just ended up not working out. Math is not my strong suit.
Absolutely. And like one of the big dangers too is that like much like the other golden maps, there's a bunch of gold in the middle, a little bit of stone. And what you tend to see is people rush up a castle or a tower, and at that point, like, just those central fortifications is going to cover a lot of the extra fish. So, I think we're going to see some fishing ships, but I don't think we're going to see too heavy of an investment in it. But everyone right now is just bringing in their buffaloes, bringing in their rhinos, and it looks like no one's going to lose anything on the way.
And I gotta say too that it's a very close map in terms of the starting resources. You never really have to expand too far or anything like that. You got your 3 golds near you. And so while there is a good incentive to get to that center, it's not always going to be the play to go for.
Yeah, I think everyone here has 13 gold piles, and that's compared to like a map like Golden Rush or Golden Pit, or Gold Rush or Golden Pit tends to have like 7 or 8 gold piles, so you can definitely last on the starting gold a lot longer on this map.
Yeah.
But we should also introduce the players here. After setting up all of the map shenanigans, we have Noelle playing as the Vietnamese and Ofelia playing as the Malay. And on the other side of the pond, we have Ning with her giant walls already coming up as the Saracens, and Dragon as the Ethiopians.
And Dragon is also apparently going for those early walls, which I do very much approve of because they have worked out very well for them.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, that's the thing too, is that sometimes, something that you see sometimes on like maps like 4 Lakes where fishing is super important, as we're seeing actually both Ofelia and Noelle getting on docks. Neither Ning or Dragon seem to have gotten there quite yet. But because you get so much extra food, and, you know, fishing ships can only collect food, you can sometimes just go really hard on scouts. And I think it's actually quite smart building up these walls, especially when, as you say, all of the resources are really close. You can basically capture all of them very easily with these starting walls and not have to worry too much about it.
Exactly. We do see a little bit of scout action in the middle, but it's breaking up pretty quickly. And I think right now they're just going to see what the others are doing. And it's going to be very easy scouting out Ofelia and Noelle. Going for those slow walls again, and in Ophelia's case, going for no walls again.
Well, Ofelia is actually walling her back right now here to the left, behind her barriers.
That is pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, it's actually, you could pretty much full wall that entire side. Like, once she finishes this wall, and then the next one, like, the gaps to the northwest, she pretty much has a full wall on that side.
That's true.
And is walling the front. Yeah, worth noting too in Golden Swamp is that all of this shallows terrain in the center, the mangrove terrain, is in fact stuff you can build on.
Oh, that's a good point. I swear one of these days I will learn terrain. Not today, but one of these days.
Shallows get weirdly complicated because most shallows you can't build on, but the specific shallows you can, and yeah, it's weird. Noelle is going very brave here, trying to fight 2 scouts, and then eventually going like, maybe not.
Maybe not, no.
Also, what I love about... I think I played Golden Swamp in not Queen's Clash, but Age of Queens, the second one we won tournament, and I played against Jillin's on this map, and one thing I abused a great deal is the fact that there's no fish that you can take just on the ocean. You have to go over the shallows, which means you can donk them with your scouts and just be really annoying.
Was this the game where you walled in her docks?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
The one that made it into like the trailer, if I recall correctly.
You don't need to win games, people. You just need to be a gremlin.
Yes. Look, it's worked for me so far.
Exactly.
I did get a lot of questions when I... Oh, Dragon and Ning at the exact same time, by the way. Stable out from Ning.
Not only that, but have you seen the wall development from Ofelia?
Yeah, pretty much total. Just needs to scout out this one tile gap in the back, and she's good.
Exactly. One thing that always concerns me when you go for these larger walls is the fact that because you go for a palisade at the start, then it's going to be very hard to get villagers in time to reinforce that.
Yeah, it's a big danger, especially because like Ofelia isn't taking any resources in the back here, but she's gonna put a second palisade here on this side once her villager decides to do it. She's just having a break.
Yeah. Just need to catch her breath just a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Ofelia comes into feudal now, gets up a little bit later just because she's melee, she can afford to pick up a couple of extra villagers, and then because of her faster age up, she can go up a little bit later and still be in a good position. Dragon right away slacking down on archery range, and Sarah's and Scout Calves are already out, and they're in Noelle's base. That's gonna be a dead villager. Oh, Noelle. I'm so sorry. Does take down a scout though.
Oh, she gets the scout.
Yeah,
and some very good damage onto the other one.
Yeah, and here militia are out. A spearman is in there. Men-at-arms is coming in. This infantry force is going to do a great job of killing scouts if they actually engage in straight-up fights. But
yeah, no, most certainly.
But this time Noelle has no walls whatsoever, basically, so she has no capacity to actually force those fights. So she's gonna have to put pressure on Ning, or just hope to catch the scouts out when she's not paying attention. Man-at-Arms is in now, doing some pursuing, trying to block, getting a quick slap in on one of the scouts. And Ophelia's there to help.
So there is something... Oh, okay, we are not keeping that scout.
Nope.
Something that I was wondering about was... Is there any good bonuses to the particular setup of Vietnamese and Malay?
Well, there's one thing that's potentially... We'll see if it comes into play here, but one of the interesting things about Vietnamese and Malay is they're probably two of the best trash civs in the game. Vietnamese get their Imperial Skirmishers, and Malay get two-handed swordsmen that only cost food. So there is potential there. There's not specific synergy, I would say. Malay tend to be infantry, archers, and a little bit of cavalry, and Vietnamese tend to kind of be the same. So there's potential overlap, and oh, this Noelle, this gold mine is so oversaturated. She has 3 idle villages. Oh, and there we go. We're annoying the fishing ships. She's gonna have to migrate. I think scouts are a little bit faster than fishing ships, but Ophelia's
and the scout is inside too.
Oh god, yes, it is trying to get up a tower.
Oh!
But the approach isn't actually blocked, so the scouts can just come in and kill the building villagers.
And we have Ning with more scouts coming in as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, once they start working, they don't... No reason to switch off. Noelle's gonna be bringing her infantry back here, but there's a lot of scouts here, and oh, this is messy. Trying to get up the tower, and is gonna get it up. Gonna take down Dragon Scout too, and she does at least have some protection now, but...
That was a lot of lost villagers still.
Yeah. But Ofelia has engaged her typical mode, second TC coming in. Now, Malay were buffed recently, actually. In Imperial Age, their Battle Elephant discount is a little bit bigger. It goes down to negative 40%.
Oh dear.
But it has to be noted, they're the only civ that has cavalry but doesn't get the second cavalry armor upgrade. And Ethiopians and Saracens, both archer civs, as it looks like Noelle's gonna lose more villagers to scouts. Yeah, only gonna lose 1, so it could be worse, but gonna be forced off those berries again. And like, The problem is she's trying to get pressure down on Ning, but the walls are just too strong, and she keeps having to decide between going back to defend her own villagers or staying forward and putting pressure. And yeah, that house is now going to complete the wall, so all she can really do is hit the stable with 3 men-at-arms, which is
exactly
annoying, mostly for the sound it makes.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's been an overchop here on the left for Noelle, so that's gonna be more villagers. Yep, they're in here. That's gonna be probably 2, maybe even 3 villagers down. They're retreating now. May only be 2, actually. Yeah,
and I will say that even if it's just minimal casualties, they are still very much on low health. I think the only healthy workers I see are the gold miners, ironically enough.
Yeah, I think they just barely... I think there was just the woodcutters that were sacrificed during that earlier kerfuffle. But yeah, now the problem too is that Noelle is having to go off of her resources. She's having to invest in spearmen against 2 separate archer civilizations. That's dangerous.
It is. I think that because what I notice when it comes to Noelle's play is that what she suffers from most is the problem of having too many things to micro at once. And as a result, I feel like while the early aggression is a good idea in theory, it would be better for her to keep her units back a little bit to get to the castle, get to some more proper upgrades, and not only that, but another thing I came to think of was the fact that while she's harassing Ning, she has the furthest distance to travel in case Ofelia gets raided.
Yeah, and Ning is desperately trying to look for a hole in the wall here. This back villager in the north still hasn't done anything in all this time, which is interesting, but...
That is rather interesting, and...
just stops here, asks for the key in, is denied, and is then, okay, well, I'm going in!
It's a little bit hard to provide keys to a palisade wall, but I'm not sure that offer would go through anyway.
Yeah. Dragon does come up to Castle Age, but still quite a bit behind Ofelia. And I mean, despite... Here's the crazy thing why the strategy works. Like, Noelle lost probably 5 to 7 villagers there and had to be forced off of so many resources. And their team is still 20 villagers ahead of Ning and Dragon. Just because Ofelia went to Castle so fast and boomed on 3 TCs. And if I know Ofelia, we're probably going to be looking at 6 TCs by the end of this game.
Exactly. Another thing I was curious about was if, and I suppose we will see this in the later games, but it is whether or not Dragon and Ning are gonna keep going after Noelle as the first person to apply pressure to. Because that is something that could be hugely used as an advantage. Because, again, if you leave Ofelia completely alone at the start, then she is going to boom her brains out.
And she's going up with 2 stables now. 3 stables! I think we're gonna see an elephant stampede not too far in the future here.
Yeah. I'm just glad I'm not seeing stables from Dragon. That would have been sad.
Yeah. Look,
speaking as an Ethiopian player.
Yeah, it's not Koreans, to be fair. Here's a fun stat for you while we wait for the next engagement. Korean Hussars, fully upgraded Hussars, lose to Teuton Scout Cavalry. With...
Oh no.
With 23 HP left over.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah,
it's not
no, they're not turtle ships, are they?
Yeah, and here... Oh, okay, look here on Ophelia's border. We're seeing all of these Ethiopian faster-firing archers coming in, but the demolition raft is being made in Ophelia's dock here, and they are so clumped.
Oh,
she's trying to get a siege workshop up. It's done. It's out.
Oh my god, that is just beautiful.
Well, I think... So, here's the thing, right? Ethiopian faster-firing archers... They get the Saracen team bonus of extra damage against buildings, so these walls aren't gonna hold up. I think that demolition raft basically took this game from Ophelia's in big danger to actually Ophelia's probably ahead now.
Yeah, no, pretty much. Again, like, the wall is very much the biggest danger here with the palisade going down very quickly, and also, even if it's just 5 crossbowmen, it's still doing enough to keep the villagers off.
3 siege workshops are being built here just to keep these guys out.
And we do have those battle elephants coming out too, so even if they do get inside, then it's not going to be a pretty fight for Dragon and Ning.
Lilith, she has 6 staples!
It's,
Oh, but the camels are in now! They're gonna take down that mangonel!
They are!
I think she's gonna have to pull forward the battle elephants now. Camels versus battle elephants are super complicated, because camels do deal bonus damage, but battle elephants have so much HP and so much attack that it kinda doesn't matter.
No, exactly. And again, there aren't any spear units coming out either, from what I can see, and pretty much just focusing on the cavalry and range combo still.
Yeah, that was, what was that? That was 4 camels and 1 scout
Yeah.
down, and 1 battle elephant went down in return.
Exactly, and all the while they're standing and fighting under TC fire, which does not exactly help their case.
Yeah, they're streaming for... Look at Ning's map here. She's running past Noelle's fishing ships, just streaming camels forward. But I don't think camels are effective enough against battle elephants, and with all of Ophelia's eco, all of that huge battle elephant discount, it's gonna be really hard massing enough camels to kill that.
Exactly, and we are getting those siege workshops completed as well, which is gonna be a pretty massive deal coming up in the next couple of minutes.
Look at the left though, Lilith! 2 monasteries going up here in the back from Dragon. Ethiopian monks
that is
are
interesting.
not too befucked. Taking a little bit of TC fire here as she passes the fair TC, but yeah, I mean, battle elephants versus monks are usually really, like, monks are really good against them. Against Malay, it's a little bit harder because Malay, they lack bloodlines and chain barding armor, so the individual elephants are less important, but they're super discounted. But if you can get enough monks, I mean, it's still really worth it in terms of resources.
That's a fair point, and we're gonna see some a little bit of a dicey situation for Noelle's crossbowmen here in the middle, wanting to deny the camp, but it's not gonna work out too well right now.
Yeah, camels are not the best against crossbows, so she is gonna get at least a few kills in return, but it's about twice the number of camels compared to crossbows, and yeah, then Dragon shows up with reinforcements. I think it was a good plan from Noelle, because like they definitely were super distracted with attacking Ofelia. And now Ophelia's rushing forth with her battle elephant army. Monks are out for Dragon, and they're gonna do their best here. But Ofelia doesn't care, she's killing villagers here on the front gold camp.
Oh, that is a good point.
The camel army is here though. There's a demo raft running after it from Ofelia. Okay, she's just gonna take a second pass here at some camels. But yeah, I mean, elephants deal trample damage, and the camel bonus damage is... Camel bonus damage is a lot more important when knights have 120 HP compared to battle elephants having 250.
Exactly, and we just keep seeing them being pumped out. We still have those 6 stables in the back.
Yeah, but there's 2 monasteries in the back still now.
There
Siege
are.
Workshop making mangonels, so this could be a really heavy siege monk push.
Oh, it definitely could be, and I'm wondering if Ophelia is sensing that something is up here.
Yeah, she's keeping a lot of battle elephants at home. I think maybe she's noticing that Dragon is on 2 TCs, she's been booming and hasn't been harassed, is now on 3 TCs, and still there isn't that much at home, only 2 monks and a handful of crossbows. So I think she's starting to get suspicious. Yeah, I mean, Ning is massing her camels over here too, starting to mine gold here in the center as Noelle pulls up a second TC back at home, trying to recover, and 4th TC for Ophelia.
Oh, and we do have the monks coming out now. Still not really gonna go for that push yet, which I think is definitely a good idea. Because you do want to mass those monks a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely, and I really like the teamwork here. Dragon is healing Ning's camels, because a lot of them have been taking like the occasional shot from a crossbow or trample damage from all of the elephants. But Malay are now in imp. There's a hole! Of course there's a hole! They're gonna be streaming into these bountiful fields of farms and stone. And I think Ning just goes for it, seeing that hole, and now only 4 monks and a handful of mangonels. But that's gonna be a hell of a choke point here. And I don't know.
Most definitely. And yeah, I think like that choke point is not going to work out too well for the Ophelia because of those monks and mangonels in the background. We do see some rams as well. I don't really think they're going to be the main star of the show, but the mangonels combined with the camels most definitely are.
Some conversions now starting to come in. I mean, she's been mathing monks really well. That's 8 monks there, I think. Just pushing those elephants away. She's keeping away now, and I wonder what she's planning to do here. She might just be a little bit paralyzed by this whole swarm.
Exactly, and while she is dealing with that giant mess of an army, we can see that Noelle and Ophelia are both trying to apply pressure to the middle to stop that gold income.
Yeah, 1 second. Sorry, could you pause for a second again?
Of course.
Oh lord.
I am at 35.58.
Oh, okay, then I actually ended up being slightly ahead of you. I'm at 36.04.
Alrighty. And I shall pause right there.
Okay. On 1?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
There we go.
So, okay, one big thing I immediately see. There's a certain thing called Elite Battle Elephant coming in now from Ofelia. That is so expensive, but so strong.
Especially with the existing units of battle elephants, and it's looking like she really wants to engage with her elephants, but it's not quite the time yet, and she is gonna lose that town center most certainly.
Yeah, but I mean, with how many town centers Ofelia builds in an average game, I think she's fine with that. Loses 1 battle elephant to conversion. He's fishing for some more conversions here. Still producing more elephants. Like, here's the thing, just counting the numbers, Ofelia almost has more battle elephants than Dragon and Ning's combined army, not to say nothing of the difference in HP and so on.
Yeah.
But these monks could swing that, they're up to 13 of them now. But Elite Battle Elephant is in, and Ning is trying to take this fight with just base camel riders. And I don't know who's winning! It's a mess, because town centers are going down, monks are converting left and right. You are going in here, and yeah, villagers are just trying to flee past all of this. As Ophelia, during all of this, is putting up another town center in the back. But it looks like the Elite Battle Elephant is doing it. I mean, just look at the score.
I must say, while I understand Noelle's plan to completely disrupt the gold income from the middle, I would have really liked to see her try and sneak in those archers from the back to help alleviate the pressure a bit.
Yeah, but it's gonna be cutting off these camel reinforcements and killing all of the gold miners. I mean, this is
definitely.
Quite a logistical advantage there. And I think now, at this point, Ophelia must have noticed that the monks were coming in so quickly. They walk so slowly, but they were always there. She must know something is up. But she is just looks like she's going to resume pressure here. She's bringing forward the battle elephants. And I mean, now they're... Like, just that forward group has nearly 8,000 HP combined. This is why melee are scary.
Yeah. And meanwhile, we have a single monk on a mission.
Oh god. Oh no, he's gonna get smoked! Yep.
There we go. That's 100 gold. And she finally finds the camp, so she's gonna be able to take care of that.
Yeah, those scouting elephants. That's a big investment lost. I mean, Dragon is on 5 TCs now, so he's just gonna try to boom past that. Is going up to Imp, might be looking for Halberdier. I mean, one of the nice things for Ethiopians is that they get free pikeman upgrade, but Halberdiers is still expensive, and there's a forward castle from Ophelia. Gonna put it up right on that golden stone. Oh dear. And battle elephants coming in from the side too.
This is an insanely scary position to be in for Dragon, because without those monks to back up, there isn't a whole lot she can do. The crossbowmen are not going to help out here at all. She did just go up to Imperial, but again...
Yeah, and she's slapping down extra barracks, starting to produce pikemen. I think this is the point where... I wonder if this is a great choice, because yes, camels aren't working, but these are still melee battle elephants. They have so little pierce armor that I wonder if maybe Arbalists wouldn't have been the better choice.
Yeah, no, exactly. It would have been less of a resource investment, and not only that, but because of that forward castle, we're suddenly not going to be seeing that much defense from the western side here at all. And suddenly Ophelia is pretty free to put pressure on the rest of her base.
She's also free to put down 3 extra town centers on top of her 3 existing ones.
And the forward town center next to the castle too.
Yeah, like I think normally when you have like an idle villager out of position as some Ning camel racer coming in here in the back, normally you're like, okay, well I'll put down like a lumber camp or like a few houses just to keep them busy. I think to Ophelia, if she's an idle villager out of position, she starts putting down town centers.
No, exactly. She is getting raided pretty hard here by Ning, but again, I'm not really sure that's going to matter too much. And looking at that score difference, I can kind of see why too.
And Noelle is doing her part too. She's cleared this camp in the middle,
Yeah.
putting up her castles. And
Yeah, no,
Ophelia's
I was
assisting
going to
the
say,
war
like,
dogs.
I have to take back what I said earlier. The focus on the middle was surprisingly effective.
And it's so
Because-
hard.
yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, because right now Dragon can't assist with anything. The only thing that Ning can do is try to keep, well, I was gonna say keep up the harass, and then I looked back to Ophelia's base, and I don't think that's gonna be the case anymore.
Just a quick 18 elite battle elephant home guard.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's so scary right now too, because they have to put all of their resources into countering the elephant stampede.
Exactly.
And you know what kills camels and pikes? Crossbows. And Noelle is starting to get quite the mass too. Going up
that
to
is a good point.
4 TCs now, so she's gonna get her boom going for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. And if there's one thing I like about Vietnamese, then it's their range units. I'm not really sure if there's anything else you can like about the Vietnamese, but
That-
yeah.
Look, they have good laming potential.
True.
But yeah, a defensive castle coming up from Dragon, just trying to save most of her original base as she's been forced to migrate east. But those battle elephants are gonna claim quite a few Vil lives in the meantime, and isn't even
Yeah.
really letting up. And
No, exactly. And we have the war galleys putting on pressure as well, and it
oh
is
god, yeah.
it is a complete surround, honestly.
And I mean, Ophelia was just prepped for this entire. She had a forward castle. She's been in Imp. She just goes, okay, I'll start making traps then. That's fine.
No, exactly. And that works more than well enough. Like, if she needs to, she can easily fall back onto her castle. That's no problem. She has more than enough avail to help back that out. She has her town center in the back as well.
And Noelle is into Ning's base here. Ophelia's sending over just a small 20 elephant helping force here as Noelle is going around with her crossbows, just picking off farmers, picking off gold miners.
Exactly, and we do see Ning's camel riders starting to move back, but it's not gonna be in time.
And it's not gonna work. They're up against pikes, elephants, and crossbows.
Exactly.
All of those will shred camels. And Ophelia's too, just reinforcing the center island with a second castle. I also love that she put up those extra 2 town centers. They were killed by camels, and they're both at 80 and 90% built, and she's just forgot about them. At this point, I feel like Ofelia doesn't build town centers to produce villagers. I think she just builds town centers because that's what she's used to doing.
No, that's a good point. There might also be some psychology about it being a technical tower.
That's so fair. Noelle's going up to Imp, and Ning hasn't even clicked. I don't think there's anything she can do here. Like, she's just gonna get everything picked off. If she tries to engage, the battle elephants are a 350? No, just 300 HP wall. And while they're engaging the elephants, they're losing units, and then crossbows, pikes come in to shred anything that's left. Elephants in the back, elephants in the front taking down TCs, finding this northern group of villager refugees.
Oh, there's gotta be a GG coming in soon. There is. outside of quite literally cockroaching, I cannot see a single way for it to swing back here.
This is about the point where you start hoping for internet disconnects. And yeah, there's the GG being called right away.
There it is.
Yeah, I mean, their good front at this moment was, like, at the best for them, a stalemate against Ophelia's push on the left. So there just kind of wasn't a good side left for them, and yeah. Out of opportunities, they called the GG, and we're up to 1-1.
Yeah, no, and again, like, just looking back at the game, I gotta hand it to Noelle. She did a really good job at staying out of trouble and all the while mounting up to cause trouble in the middle, which, again, it's just such a lovely synergy with Ophelia's 3,000 battle elephants and TCs.
Yeah. One man, one vote? For Ophelia, it's one TC, one elephant.
That's a good point.
But yeah, like, I gotta give it to Noelle. Like, she played in this. It was unfortunate that she got so hard rated, and like, yes, in hindsight, you should probably put up walls. You probably should know you were gonna be under pretty quick, aggressive pressure. But once that came in, she played it pretty much perfectly. She knew Ophelia was way ahead. That's just how the strat works. Noelle dies, Ophelia booms. But with that, she played such a good supported role, cutting off camel reinforcements, cutting off gold that was in a risky position for Ning and Dragon. And, like, that's... what more could you want from that sort of play, right?
No, exactly. And she did a really good job at balancing out so she could get those arbalets out, get them fully upgraded. Just really well played.
Yeah, I mean,
and again, like, I'm interested to see in the next game if we're gonna see that early pressure on Noelle again.
Yeah, because it's such a dangerous strat. Again, Noelle lost something in the vein of like 6 or 7 villagers in feudal. Like, it was a fourth of her economy just gone.
Exactly.
And by the time Ophelia hit like Med Castle, she was still like, their team was still considerably ahead in eco. That's just, the strat kind of does work, even if it looks so ugly while it's happening.
No, exactly, and I do remember you telling me about your team games where the times where you win the easiest are the times when you're the one constantly under pressure, and the rest of your team is just allowed to boom their brains out.
I did, when we did like the big 4v4 Age of Queens show match, we played Arena once, and it's a horrible game. It took like 2.5 hours to complete.
Oh god.
It was so laggy by the end. But I remember specifically, like, one of my first things was castle dropping, and I lost maybe like 10 villagers in the early castle just trying to do that castle drop. Still worked because I distracted a Mongol player for all that time. And then we had a petard war, which was fun. But anyway.
Quite the game, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if that's still around somewhere. Like, there's a recorded game. I really hope so, because it was good fun.
Yeah.
So, our next one will be going to Dragon and Ning's first home map, which is going to be Golden Pit.
Alright. And I am curious if we can take a small break.
Yes, that sounds goody. How long would you like?
Give me like 5-6 minutes or something, and I will be ready again.
Okay, cool. I will turn off the recording for now, and we'll put up the next few games as a separate part.
That sounds good.
Okay, see you in a bit. And we're back as we're starting our first home map game here for, excuse me, Capture Age. Okay, sped up and I think I'm back. What time,
right.
What time are you at?
I am at 30 seconds now.
Okay, can you pause for 1 sec?
Yeah, 34 seconds.
Okay, and on 1. 3,
All right.
2, 1. Alright, and now, what the, it paused automatically.
Okay, I'll pause again, 41 seconds.
Wait, where were you at, you say?
41.
Okay. Yeah, it gets a little bit weird sometimes with pausing and unpausing. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
All
This
right.
time things were good. Okay. So, we're moving straight into our first home map pick here for Dragon and Ning. Okay, I have another Capture Age bug, but I'm just gonna live with it. For some reason, it's always selecting a town center, which is very interesting. When we're
That is a bit interesting, but we'll roll with it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just science.
Ophelia will be happy to hear about this.
Yes, I mean I assume that's how she works when she plays. Is that like
Yeah.
she gets withdrawal if a town center isn't selected? Anyway, not we're dunking on Ophelia a lot, but we love her.
We do.
She's
We
a
really
wonderful
do.
player. But yeah, so we're getting a little bit of the same vibe as last time, although this time we have no water, no shallows, just a gigantic pit here in the middle with a bunch of gold and stone this time. And as you can see on this map, there's a little bit less actual gold on the sides. Rather, most of it is in the middle. I think there are 3 gold tiles. Yeah, 3 gold tiles per player. And here in the north, we have Ophelia playing in the blue Tatars. East, we have red Turks for Noelle. And in the south, on the opposing team, we have Ning playing purple Teutons and Dragon playing yellow Italians. So, one of the big things that immediately jumps out to me, and it will always jump out to me with Italians, Turks and Tatars will generally always want to go for some combination of light cav, maybe a little bit of heavy cav, and cav archers. They can go with other stuff, like you can definitely play foot archers with the immediate thumb ring from Tatars, and with Turks you can definitely go into gunpowder, obviously. But this big scary thing is that if Dragons Italians get to Genoese crossbowmen, they counter light cav, they counter heavy cav, they counter cav archers. With enough of them, Tatars and Turks, even together, can do very little.
Not only that, but if it does get to that point, I'm pretty sure we're gonna see some very chunky boys from Ning as well.
Yeah, I would love to see a Elite Teutonic Knight. They don't do the greatest against cav archers, but god, if we see light cav spam or like Ophelia going with Kashyyyks, Teutonic Knights would be wonderful.
Honestly, you don't even need a battering rams at that point. You just need the knights.
Yeah, but at least for the start, it looks like it's just gonna be okay. Dragon has started her walls, as has Ning, so everything is right with the world. It's a pretty wallable map, to be fair in general. Ophelia is just starting to push in her deer here to start with. Apart from that, nothing really seems to be out of the ordinary. Noelle bringing in her war. And apart from that, yeah, I don't think we're seeing too much surprising stuff here. I am curious to see what sort of openings we'll be going with, though, because definitely, if we're just going for normal, like, non-Genoese crossbowmen, Turks and Tatars can do a lot to counter that. Turks just get +1 pierce armor to all their scouts, so even in Feudal Age, their scouts will do a lot against foot archers, but that's where Teutons can come in. They can build their own scout cav, they can build spearmen, and they should be able to deal with that fairly well. I think a lot of, like, obviously it's a team game tournament, so what I'm about to say is very obvious, but a lot of this, especially in this sort of matchup, is going to come down to cooperation and coordination in particular.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And I'm a little bit curious about this wall from Dragon right here, but I think I can see where she's going with it. That is to say, towards the town center.
Yes. No, that's the plan. I mean, it is nice, because, like, you never want to wall out gold or, like, wall out berries, but here she's just walling out stone, which is not as big of a deal, and walling towards her town center means she can keep that area safe. What I think is noticeable as far as the walls are concerned is that this time Noelle has been like, okay, look, it worked last time, but it wasn't fun to have 20 villagers at the 30-minute mark, so this time the walls are coming up, and they're coming up good and early.
They are, and it's quite a house wall as well, so...
Yeah, no, definitely she should have a good start going off there, and I mean, Turks... They don't have the strongest early game bonuses, like the gold mining is nice, and she's actually going up to feudal already, going up before both Ning and Dragon. Ophelia's waiting a little bit on this, just continuing to push in sheep here, and making good use out of that extra, the Tatar bonus to have extra food on their sheep. She's got 12 villagers on sheep right now. It's being, she's also using them to get the deer she's pushing in, but... yeah, that's a lot of food production right now.
Yeah, no, definitely, and I can definitely see why she'd want to go for that, especially as Tatars. You want to get that herding bonus out of the way as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I really like starting with 7. Like, most of the time you're gonna start with 6 villagers on sheep. I really like starting with 7 just to make the most use out of that.
Yeah.
Also, just before they disappear, I like the fact that for a second we had Ning make like a fishhook-shaped wall. Like, at the front, those walls that are coming up now, they were actually bent towards her mill at first. And it looked like either a question mark or a fishing hook, and that made me happy.
Very understandable. And we got an archer range coming out from Dragon as well.
Yeah, not so surprising with Italians for sure. And
no, definitely.
Doing her part is setting up her own stable. I think Ophelia's gonna go straight fast castle, which, okay, sure. I'm not gonna say it doesn't fit her MO, and Tatars can definitely do fast castles pretty well with those extra food on the sheep, but you're in a team game, and you're in a team game with 2 people who have very clearly learned that hitting you at some point early is a good idea. And Noelle might be fully walled by the time they come out.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna make a little bit of a bet right now because I'm fairly certain that Noelle is not gonna see that much pressure to begin with. It depends a little bit on how clever they are in scouting out these walls and noticing that they are incredibly sparse when it comes to how far away they are.
Yeah, they could definitely put down pressure. And like, I mean, it's something that's a lot easier to do in team games too. Like, one of them makes melee units to get through walls, the other makes archers to prevent people from walling behind those initial walls.
Yeah, no, exactly. And we are seeing some pressure from Noelle here onto Ning. And meanwhile, Ning is throwing up her scouts between Noelle and Dragon.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how much Ning can actually get done here, because Ofelia has started walling, and in particular, she's walled in such a way that, like, her gold is safe in that mini wall behind her, and she has this, basically using her TC as an enlarged tower, as is her tradition, to cover most of that back from preventing the enemy scouts from coming into her wood lines.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that concerns me a little bit right now is the fact that Ophelia's gold line is definitely not going to be looking too happy with these archers coming in. Same deal with the wood line.
But she is going fast castle. She has a blacksmith with stable up, so we might be seeing a pretty immediate jump into Tatar Knights. Bloodlines are coming in. But I think in that meantime, she's probably gonna lose at least 1 or 2 villagers. I think you kind of have to kind of suck it. Yeah, she's gonna delete the palisade wall. Gonna have to suck it up and just accept it. You might lose 1 or 2 villagers here, but it looks like she's gonna get away. Again, the town center's doing a good job defending. As Noelle...
Yeah, no, surprisingly well, honestly. And she even manages to get an archer out of that.
There's an accidental villager here on the left, so it's not without its pains, but she's building a market, then going directly onto stone. I'm curious about this, because I'm very 50-50. That stone could go into spamming towers, as is tradition, or she might just be thinking, okay, I don't have access to gold anymore, I'm just gonna mine stone and sell it.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I do like the fact that Noelle is keeping her scouts on the offensive as well. Just making sure that he keeps up the pressure and gets a little bit of micro away from Ning.
Yeah, just taxing that APM, making sure that, like, every now and then Ning has to choose between making another farm, and Noelle's in! What happened there? Oh, she didn't hammer that southern house! Oh no!
Oh,
Ning has to quick wall here, gets those up at least, protects her wood line. But I mean, this is gonna make her wood line a lot less efficient. She's having to spend a bunch of wood on houses that she would probably rather put into farms. That could be a big...
Yeah, most definitely, and we're gonna see if Noelle can spot these berry pickers up in the north as well.
It's a little bit rude, isn't it, calling them berry pickers?
Well, do you have a more glorified term for them?
Forage specialists.
Oh, they're specialists now, okay.
Well, I mean, they've spent a good amount of their life on this earth picking berries. I have to assume they're specialists at this point.
No, that's fair. We've seen kingdoms rise in technology in the meantime.
I will give you one thing. Maybe we restrict that term to just Franks. But yeah, Tatar Knights are starting to come out here, and I mean, scouts. Sure, there's more scouts, but especially with some villager support here, they should be fought off. Ophelia's getting that second TC up. And neither of Dragon or Ning, I was about to call them Dring together, is going up to castle yet, so maybe Ophelia is gonna do her thing, establish that early eco advantage, but this time she has actual knight to just prevent her from being 24/7 harassed.
Yeah, no, exactly. And again, like, it doesn't matter that she has a lot of openings in her base or anything like that, because once again, Noelle managed to get so much good pressure down on Ning. Those knights managed to come out perfectly in time. And yeah, no, like, I definitely believe that this is a very good booming opportunity for Ophelia.
Yeah, looks like Dragon is pulling off some market magic here to try to get up to castle, trying to get those crossbows running early. So we're seeing a lot of, yeah, market trickery going on here. Like, that's the thing too about, as far as like the feudal castle difference. Oh, as Ning's in! There's an overchop here on Noelle's northern wood line, and she's gonna be, oh, it was looking so good for her. One of those scouts is really
definitely gonna hurt.
I think, like, I know I'm very bellicose when it comes to my villagers, but I think I would like to see her just fight, because that one of those scouts is one hit away from death, and the other one is at half HP. So at least getting those down. She's quick walling now, preventing more of those scouts from coming in. Okay, she doesn't notice the hole there. Still really annoying, especially after spending so much time walling up.
No, exactly. It's it's not the most fun to deal with, to say the least, and we can see Ophelia is starting to scout out a little bit from Dragon, see if she can find any openings and whatnot.
Or make an opening.
Or make an opening. I mean, those knights do have quite damage early.
Yeah, that's the big thing, right? Is if you get to, like, in feudal you have rock paper scissors, and then when Castle Age comes around, the knight is a gun, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care for your rocks, papers, or scissors.
No, that's true.
But yeah, Noelle's gonna get him. Oh, a fight. One scout down, two scouts down. She's actually gonna take out nearly the entirety of this raiding force, and honestly, like, that could have been a lot worse. That is
impressive.
Yeah,
yeah, no, most definitely.
One scout survives, but yeah, she's just like, okay, you have, 10 HP.
Yeah, time for fisticuffs.
Yes, we're gonna bonk you down, and that's gonna be it. The problem is that even with this re-wall on the left, she actually still has a hole on the right, like just to the right of her villagers there. Oh, but you might notice. Yeah, okay. Little bit of finagling, but yes, it works out.
Yes.
Dragon has hit castle though now, but Noelle's coming up too, as is Ning, so we're gonna have full castle here in just a second as Ophelia puts down her third town center.
Yeah, exactly, and I am thinking a little bit about Ophelia's economy right now. I can't really see it on my screen. She's getting that third town center down though, so pretty soon we'll be at 8 town centers. Give it a few minutes and we're there.
They breed like rabbits for Ophelia.
They do.
Self-replicating.
Ooh, and there goes those knights. The one gets away with 17 HP.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, the problem now too is that even if Ophelia committed really hard to something like knights and mangonels now to counter the crossbows coming out from Dragon, Ning she's getting bloodlines, she's getting cavalry armor, and soon we're gonna be, we're already seeing some Teuton knights out on the field, and that extra melee armor is gonna hurt in those sorts of engagements.
Yeah, no, definitely, and we are also seeing the second town center from Ning as well, so her economy is definitely gonna be booming up in just a bit.
Yeah, as seems to be the case here, like, we're actually slapping down the town center in the middle too. So that's gonna be 4 total town centers from Dragon and Ning, and with Noelle making a second TC here in the back, it's gonna be 6 for Ophelia and Noelle. Like, it seems to come down to this so often when Ophelia and Noelle play, is that it comes down to, can they survive long enough for their boom to outlast Dragon and Ning's aggressiveness?
Yeah, no, exactly, and we are starting to see some of that aggressiveness. Kind of? No, maybe?
Yeah, a little bit of hesitance.
There we go.
Yeah, no, there's a reason I say that I think Ophelia is... I'm not gonna say that they should get, like, a paternity test, but I think there might be some doubt DNA in her. Not always the quickest on the micro, but
No, that's fair.
one of the strongest boomers. And yeah, we're seeing watchtowers here in the back, by the way.
Oh god, yeah.
And one right next to the TC.
Yeah, and we are seeing 26 crossbowmen going to town in here as well, so that is definitely going to be quite annoying to deal with. I only just now noticed those cav archers, yeah.
Yeah, cav archers are out, and she's building mangonels to try to deal with this crossbow mass. Now, crossbows do outrange TCs, doesn't outrange towers, which is something Ofelia is quick to jump on here on that right-hand TC. But yeah, one of the big things too, right, is that Tatars and Turks, both very strong cav archer civs, Tatars being objectively the best civ in the game overall. Also worth noting is that Teutons are very bad against cav archer civs. If you have the micro to kill mangonels, and speaking of mangonels, one is now coming forward for Ofelia, then the lack of husbandry and the lack of light cav from Teutons makes it so hard to deal with those civs.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we do see that tower coming out as well, so that's going to help slow the push down quite a bit.
Yeah, but still gonna go down to Teuton Knights before too long. Mangonel is now pushing forward. Will Dragon see this in time? This could be a huge swing. Oh, good damage coming in already. And there she notices just before I think the next Mangonel shot would have come in. But has to be so careful because those Knights... It's fine, like if they have to sacrifice one or two Teuton Knights to kill that Mangonel, that's fine to them. As they're reinforcing the center with 2 TCs and a castle.
Yeah, they are really going hard at securing the middle gold pit here.
So that TC is gonna go down and a few villagers are gonna go down with it, but you know, we also have 4 TCs, 3 of which are in the back now for Ofelia. So again, we're seeing the consistent town center migration strats that she's pulling off.
No, exactly. Lose a town center, build 2.
Yes, it's like reforestation. Mangonel firing here is probably just about to get smoked by those 2 knights. As I said, that's more than a good trade when you've got all of these crossbows you want to protect.
No, exactly. And yeah, no, very much gonna come down to keeping that backline safe.
Also, worth noting, guard tower upgrade just came in from Ofelia, those pretty Central Asian guard towers.
I was gonna say, those are very pretty.
Quick TC alert on the left here for Ofelia. Oh no. I did a thing. This one is entirely my bad. Can you pause for a second?
Okay, of course.
Accidentally jumped.
I'm at 3101.
Okay, that should be quick then to fix. Alright. 3, 2, 1.
There we go.
But yeah, I mean, this is just gonna be constant pressure, and the thing is, she doesn't really have Noelle. Noelle got hit early, he's starting to produce camels now, but it's really hard for Turks in this moment to try to counter both knights and crossbows on their own.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm not really sure what would be the game plan here for Ofelia, because yeah, she's not gonna get any more mangonels out, I feel. Not with how forward the siege workshop is and everything.
Oh, but she's deciding, you know what? Migrationing is still the best strat. She's sending vills and she's gonna drop a castle in the middle.
Oh, that is bold. That is very bold.
I was literally just about to start theorizing that maybe the way you stop this push is just to panic rush a castle somewhere in the center here, just to give yourself the time to amass a counter army. But this castle is not the defensive one that I expected, to say the least. And I think...
Maybe you're correct about that doubt theory.
A little bit. Oh, but... Okay, that's Noelle. Noelle is immediately taking advantage of that. I don't think those knights in the center actually see it. Knights have truly awful line of sight, so I think they're... Oh, but one is gonna pass now, so they're spotting that. The question is the player gonna notice this in time? Because I think they're busy with the pressure over here, taking down another town center from Ofelia. But one of those knights is taking it upon themselves. But the castle goes up.
It does.
I wonder if it's enough to compensate for all these losses back home. Ning and Dragon have almost a 30 villager lead now.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like we're not seeing that boom that Ophelia is known for because of this constant pressure. The crossbow men and the knights, they barely seem to need any reinforcing at all.
Also, a very important note is that Ning has started
Yeah.
capturing the sheep from the Tatar town centers. That new one on the left, she's actually bringing with her forward. They're like little moral support now. But yeah,
Aw.
now Teuton Knights are just streaming into the middle of this, and you can build as many town centers as you want, but these are knights. These are knights with 4 pierce armor and 120 HP, and even if you're not killing villagers, you're keeping so much idle. These town centers are all filled.
Yeah, no, exactly. And all the while, the gold income for both Dragon and Ning are just through the roof right now, thanks to that early secure in the center.
Yeah, and Dragon is already on her way to Imp, so that one castle there, not only does it not range anything, it just secures a little bit for Noelle. There might be trebs out any moment once that
Yeah.
happens.
I will give it to Noelle. She did a really good job here at capturing this this crossbow army in Ophelia's place.
No, that's a really good pounce, and that's going to
Yeah.
alleviate so much pressure, but is it enough? Because again, the vill difference is now over 40 villagers ahead for Ning and Dragon.
Yeah, no, and the thing about that is it kind of tends to escalate, just a tiny bit.
Yeah, it's definitely not over, but this is the problem I was talking about early in the game. Italian Genoese crossbowmen counter pretty much everything Tatars and Turks want to do. You can go into counters, like Tatars do still get fully upgradable skirms, for example, but you don't want that. That's just a defensive army. And Teuton Knights are on the field and are just gonna cut through such an attempt.
Yeah, no, pretty much. Again, like the resource difference is a bit too much right now, and I'm not really seeing a recovery from that because no matter what Noelle and Ophelia switches into, Ning and Dragon can just switch into something else. They can easily invest all those resources.
But Noelle is streaming forward for camels. We've seen a lot of camel raids overall here, and I mean, needs must to some extent. Dragon hits Imp, and Ning is not going to be too far behind at all. Neither Ophelia nor Noelle have actually clicked up yet. They're just building more town centers at the moment, trying to catch up in Vill count. But that's going to delay their Imp even further.
Exactly, and how many town centers do we have left?
The camels get in! There's another hole! The camels get in!
Oh dear.
Space. I mean, this is not going to be a disaster. Camels are not the best raiding units, and she decides to just... Honestly, I think that's fair.
Okay.
Like, you could have done a lot of damage, but once you lose that camel arm, that's all the military they have. That is literally the entirety of it. So once you lose that, I mean, it would have just been like, oh, okay, we can just eat everything you have now. If they lose it. At least that camel army gives them something.
I have noticed we started seeing a lot of light cavalry from Noelle too.
Yeah, probably just trying to get ready to try to counter that crossbow mass. And I mean, they do end up with a good amount, but once you have a tech advantage and the chemistry is now coming in, and I have to imagine that probably Bracer and Arbalest will be pressed not too long after that. I mean, Light Cav is nice, Turret Light Cav is very good, but I don't think it's nearly enough with that tech disadvantage.
No, definitely not. And we're looking at a loss here in the center completely, thanks to those trebs doing their job.
Yeah, and Noelle is raiding with camels again, but there's not too much exposed eco that Ning can't just pretty quickly run to safety. But she's doing a really good job spreading her out her light care, keeping the army busy here in the pit while raiding with the camels.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But again, the question really comes back to how long can this keep up? Because you can be really annoying, but if you're going up against enemy paladins plus arbalists, any actual fight is gonna be the end of you.
No, pretty much. And correct me if I'm wrong, but are Noelle's camels trapped right now?
I think they are. I don't know.
I think so too.
I don't know where they got in. Oh, okay, they just opened an opening here at the northwest between the two stables.
Oh, there we go.
But see, that's not an escape. That's where the executioners are entering the arena from.
Yeah, no, exactly.
She's trying to make her own exit now, but I mean, again, camels very low damage. They're going up against building armor. It's not great. The castle for Ophelia is down. 2 more sheep are captured from the Tatar town center. And yet, camels are starting to go down, and I think this is the hammer and anvil, and they're gonna get very much hammered. Noelle is gonna reach Imp though, so maybe there's a plan here. Maybe Hussar spam mixing with some camels could do enough to delay. But Ning's Cavaliers are coming back into Ophelia's base, and I don't think it's sufficiently walled or sufficiently defended in any way to actually keep up.
No, exactly. Like, it may very well have a good wall surrounding it, but it doesn't take a lot to go through that. And she's not going to be able to wall the rest behind these palisades in time either.
We have 20 seconds to Teuton Paladins, and that's gonna hurt if we're being very generous. I also love that, like, Ning is pushing her way through the wall, but accidentally one of the paladins just went around the side and can now just kill off the walling villagers because there's a giant hole there.
Yeah, no, exactly. And we do see those trebs pushing forward as well, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really seeing any escape from this.
No, it's just... This is... I do love how Ning and Dragon has played this. They've realized that Ophelia, she's very, very good at booming. So if they hit her early and don't ever let up, that's where the big weakness is, because she can be as good at booming as she wants to. If she's losing 10 villagers for every 5 she makes, that's gonna be a loss in the long run.
No, exactly. And again, like, Noelle is doing admirably, she is, but it's not enough to alleviate all of that pressure.
Yeah, she's I'm very proud, like, I'm very impressed by her sniping those trebs and trying to cut off reinforcements, but again, any fight with this number of Teuton Paladins, it's not gonna be good. Like, I wish there's a but in there, but right now, at these numbers, it's just the truth. You're gonna die.
Yeah, no, it's a bleak situation for sure, and again, those Genoese crossbowmen, they do not look fun to play with.
Well, I think they're lovely to play
with. Against, rather.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ophelia is trying to raid, but I think, like, just the scale of these raids being about 6 or 7 light cav, and that being most of her armies, it's kind of telling about the situation they're finding themselves in.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, Noelle is just throwing her camels and hussars in here, just trying to give Ophelia the time to do something. Trying to slow down that push, but this is what Teutons do. They're slow, they don't get husbandry, all of their units are slow and heavy, but when they don't need to defend themselves against enemy raids or respond to quick cavalry rushes or the like, they push you to death. That's just what they do.
Yeah, no, exactly. I really struggle to find something to comment on here because all I'm seeing is slaughter, and I don't want to focus on the defense.
Yes. No, like there's plenty of games in this set or in this tournament in general where I've had it looks bad and the GG is called now.
Yeah. Where
things have been bad, but there are upsides, but there are potentials for comebacks. This one felt lost around like mid to late Castle Age. And
yeah, no, definitely. And again, like really amazing early pressure from Dragon and Ning, and I really love the fact that they went so hard on securing the middle as well, just so they could keep financing that pressure.
Yeah, I'm doing something very important now, so I will dwell on this screen for a few seconds longer. Okay, I think only 2 sheep made it out of the Tatar base by the end. I'm only seeing one. I'm seeing one dragon sheep in the middle and one recently captured Ning sheep by her paladins in the northwest.
I was sitting here wondering what is so important that she needs all her attention on it.
There's a real sadness to this because I think at least 1 or 2 points there were maybe like 4 or 5 sheep just dwelling around in the midst of the combat. So there have been some severe civilian casualties here.
No, that's very fair.
Okay, so I am very excited for what's about to come though, because you know what the next map is?
I do not.
The next map, which is it's the first potential match point. Yes.
Is it Socotra?
Is Socotra?
Oh, dear lord. Okay, this is gonna be interesting and potentially one of the quickest games.
I see. That's the lovely thing. Socotra can be 5 minutes, or it can be an hour and a half with nobody getting out of the feudal age by the end.
Oh my god.
It's a wonderful map.
That is quite amazing.
But yeah, no, like I am so curious because I think Noelle and Ophelia have been picking Socotra as their home maps before. I think this might be the first time they've actually gotten to play it because they've won their games before. So I'm so curious to see what plan they have in mind here.
Yeah, no, definitely. Also, I just want to take a second to brag that I managed to pause at 0 seconds.
I did too! Are you serious?
Oh, that's beautiful! Yeah!
Oh my god, that's
right.
perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's... See, Socotra is so interesting to me in this matchup because so far in every game, Ning and Dragon have been the aggressors. They've been the one pushing. And Socotra is a map where... Look, the thing that Socotra actually really promotes is lames and tower rushing, but as a distant number 3, it just in general promotes aggression. So I am so curious to see, because again, it almost feels like this could have been Ning and Dragon's home map in theory.
Yeah, no, definitely. Alright, are you ready to get started?
Still loading in for a second.
Alright.
I'm gonna quickly try restarting Capture Age, because it is being a little bit laggy.
Yeah, of course. I am just spoiling myself a little bit by looking at the teams and whatnot.
Yes, I think that those are acceptable spoilers.
I'll also admit I've never really taken like a proper look at this map.
It's the kind of map that I think you will either ban it or favorite it.
Yeah, no, pretty much.
There's a reason it has a reputation, that's for damn certain.
Jesus Christ, I thought that MegaRandom had like very dense resources.
No, yeah, it's... Socotra really has its own charm.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Let's try this again. Worst case scenario, we'll have to swap over to the actual game, like some kind of plamb.
Do you mean like us mortals?
Yeah.
No, that's very fair. A terrible fate indeed.
But yeah, no, Socotra, let's see, I'm gonna quickly check their civilizations while we wait for Capture Age to do its thing. Lithuanians, Teutons for Ning and Dragon, and Celts and Vikings for Ophelia and Noelle.
And if I see a single berserker, I'm going to quit.
I know, but if it makes you feel better, if there's any map where we're not gonna go to Castle Age, this is gonna be the one.
That's a fair point.
Alright, it looks like Capture Age is not gonna do its thing, so we're just gonna go via the old ways. Alright. Yeah, you said you managed to pause it at 0000.
Yes, indeed.
Hell yeah, then all we have to do is count it in. 3,
Alright.
2, 1.
There we go.
Alright, so, Socotra. A map you don't get to see very often. I favorite it, and sometimes when Socotra is in the map pool, I ban Arabia, and like every time... Basically, when Socotra comes up as a potential map, there's like about 75% chance someone alt F4s out.
Which is more than understandable.
So it's about 40 seconds in, and Ophelia is taking her elephant, which is also very much standard. You only... Yeah, Ning's going for hers too.
Yeah, she went for that early loom even.
Oh dear. Yeah, Dragon also doing hers now. Only one not taking this is Noelle, but she can very much afford that because it's in the back for her. Yeah, you only get the 1 elephant, you only get 6 sheep, and then 5 zebra. So losing that elephant is such a... Oh my god. Ning has a militia out! It's 1 minute 30, oh my god. So Lithuanians... I have to talk very quickly here because stuff is happening as expected on Socotra. Lithuanians start with 150 extra food, which means they don't... There's a strat where they just build a barracks more or less instantly, and then keep food production up. And oh my god, I think... Yeah, Ning isn't even gonna attack with the militia, she's just gonna kill Ophelia Zebras. That is so mean.
very mean, very valid.
Yeah, no, oh my god. Like, I have... Yeah, she's 2 militia out now, and they're just tasked with killing the zebras. Oh my god. Like, she's even using her scout to try to corral them as best as possible. Oh dear. Okay, well, we weren't gonna get any elephant laming, but deer laming is... I mean, all laming is acceptable in this tournament, so taking advantage of that right away. Still has those 2 militias in, too, so see where those are gonna go.
Yeah, no, definitely, and I gotta say, I really love that, like, super early aggression from Ning here. Apparently just doing a little look-see-loo at the Ophelia Town Center.
Yeah,
so I'm kind of curious to see where she's going with this. Manages to get a goat too, though.
I think that's actually her initial goat, because Ophelia has her 6 under the town center. She was just... Yeah, Ning is just being very brave scouting with her goat. Actually kills Ophelia's scout, too! And is now going to start pressuring that wood line. And oh, it's so dangerous because she's so close to the town center here.
Yeah.
And now Ophelia's just going to take her villager, bring it forward, and like just try to annoy Ning into getting into TC range. And get some really good damage out, too.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And Ning is out of food there for a second, now is housed, so yeah, that's the big problem with the Lithuanian Instant Rush, it's so messy.
Yeah, no, definitely. It has a big payout, but it can definitely come back to bite you in the ass.
Yeah, like it's... looks like Noelle Scout's gonna take a good amount of damage, but runs away with it now. And she's gonna go forward to mill her own deer, thankfully have not been claimed by the militia yet.
Yeah, no, definitely, and I must say, like, as impressive as it is to push your deer, I will never... Oh my god, Ning!
Yeah, you noticed the same thing I did. So, okay, just to give a rundown right now, Ophelia has lost her berries and all her deer, or all her zebra, and, like, at least she got the elephant, which she got instantly, and her goats, but... Yeah, this is gonna suck. And we're having instant villager fights here. Ophelia's attacking, but reinforcements are coming in. I mean, Ophelia doesn't have a scout. That's gonna make this a lot more complicated to try to deal with, because this scout can now just run down this villager, block them using her own. She's bringing more villagers forward to try to contest this. And Dragon is sending 9 villagers forward to engage in the fight too. She has nothing left back at home. No, she's gonna douche! She's not Persian and she's doing... Oh, that's a beautiful TC spot. Yeah, she's gonna... Like, even if it wasn't for Ning's planned walls here, Ophelia still couldn't take her berries. She's still fighting Ning's militia force here. She's fighting Dragon Scout. Is gonna get that one, but can she prevent this douche? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. She might have been early to catch it, but... That's not really gonna help her out here.
It's just trying to get as many vills out of that as possible. No, she's just gonna commit to this TC fight. She does have extra garrison space, which means they can fire more arrows, but at least they don't have twice the HP of a town center, so...
Yeah, no, exactly.
Ophelia's, or Noelle's just trying to help bother Dragon as much as possible here. Oh my god. And Ning is just gonna mill her own zebra, and one of Ophelia... Look at that mill! One of Ophelia's villagers is on the same zebra as Ning is. They're just disguised in there.
I know that this can be a very messy map with some early aggression, but I'll be perfectly honest, I did not quite expect this level.
Yeah, no, now it all depends, because the big thing about douches, right, is that, like, apart from the Persian one, which is just overall more efficient because of the double HP,
yeah,
this all comes down to wood access, and Dragon has her secured in the back. However, Noelle is going to be up to feudal before anyone else has clicked. And she's on stone, she's going to start tower rushing, and that's a super... That wood line for Dragon in the back, which is her only source of keeping her TC alive right now, is going to be so exposed to a tower rush.
Yeah, no, exactly. I feel like the only person who's like a little bit secure right now is Ning, and if Dragon loses her pressure due to that wood line going, then yeah, that's not really going to be the case anymore. But we are seeing that Ophelia's town center is going down very fast here.
Yeah, she's not
constant repair. Yeah.
Oh, she's on garrison. She's gonna probably lose 1 or 2 vills here.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Didn't realize her town center was going down so fast, and I guess that's part of the nice thing about Teutons having all that extra TC space.
Yeah, no, exactly. And again, like it's
Look here to the right on the walled-in berries. Noelle is sending out those fast Celt militias and is actually gonna get a snipe on one of Ning's vills.
Yeah, no, really good, honestly.
But Ofelia is out of wood. She can't repair the TC, and there's no market yet up to sling anything from Noelle. She's just building her first tower defensively to make sure that her berries are gonna stay intact.
Yeah, no, exactly. This is that early douche from Dragon seems to be paying off way more than I thought it would.
Yeah, no, it's just combined with Ofelia having all of her resources basically taken away from her, and when the TC is up, like, she couldn't even take her goats under the TC anymore. That was too dangerous at that point.
Yeah, no, exactly. The only thing she has going for her is a wood line, but again, that's not really gonna help when her TC is lost like this.
And here's the thing, Dragon can just move up and put her next TC basically where Ophelia's TC is, and she's on garrison immediately. Ofelia puts up a single palisade wall, probably to try to prevent that douche from happening again. But oh my god, all of her eco is just these 20 lumberjacks and nothing else. She's gonna have to wait until she gets a little bit more wood to even try to get up a new TC.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And Ning's moving up to feudal. Oh, Ophelia's placing palisades, trying to prevent the next douche from coming in. But it's coming up anyway! Oh, and she's being walled out. She has to just full exodus now, and her villagers are getting stuck in there, and Dragon's trying to wall them in, but they just get out in time. But where's she gonna go now?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm trying to figure out as well. Like, we don't really have anything going for her.
Noelle rushed up a market to pay 100 wood and 100 stone to Ofelia just to let her have another TC.
Aww.
And I mean, this is actually a nice position. Like, the problem is that she has no wood, or she has no food income whatsoever. She actually deleted all of her farms just so the Dragon couldn't steal them. I love that.
That is really clever, to be honest.
But Ofelia does have a high ground TC now, so that's something. But the problem too is that Noelle's plan to start tower rushing just got completely out of whack. Just because she had to defend and she's building up a watchtower here now just to make sure that Ofelia is at least reasonably safe moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. We see Ning going up to feudal as well, so that's definitely going to be quite the advantage there.
And she's completely unbothered. She almost has the resources to go up to castle. Yeah, she's just going to fast castle, market blacksmith. Again, the gun of the knight is going to come in and just crush anything else that's coming in here.
No, exactly. And I think like the moment that happens, it doesn't matter that Noelle has her watchtower coming out to help defend Ofelia. It's not really going to be enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think Castle Age is now queued for Ning. I think as soon as you see Castle Age come in from Ning, you basically have to stonewall the entire map, and that's a hell of a thing to try to do.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Watchtowers just are not enough to prevent anything here from being absolutely raided to death.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I mean, it's still a really good attempt to resettle here from Ofelia. She's got a good wood line here she can chop from, and yeah, got the farms going and everything. But again, it's not.
Noelle's moving forward here with watchtowers, basically, starting to tower up Ophelia's old base just to prevent Dragon, excuse me, from actually trying to recover her own economy.
Oh, that is a fairly good point, honestly. And a pretty smart move too.
Yeah, I mean,
another really nice thing is, and something that I'm a little bit worried about is. I don't think that Ning's gonna do it, but one thing she certainly could do is she could wreak some havoc down on Noelle's back economy if she wanted to. But again, I'm not entirely sure she's gonna go for that when she has such a juicy target in the middle.
Yeah, also just like here's Socotra in a nutshell, because I'm pretty sure that we will have Castle Age Ning before 50% of the players in this game have clicked up to feudal.
Yeah. No, it's I'm gonna be honest, like it's a really impressive strategy because just the way the map works, it means we get to see such different strategies than we normally would.
And Dragon is just gonna move back home now. Like she's like, okay, like I don't really have a good response to towers and walls here from Noelle. I'm just gonna go home. It's been a nice sojourn out here.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, no, it's so hard to do this, and this is kind of why I was curious if Socotra might not have been a better map for Ning and Dragons. They have such good coordination in this like unrelenting aggression.
Yeah, no, definitely. I again find a little bit of a struggle to find things to talk about. We do see the knights coming out here, just as we thought. The gun has entered the gun has entered the battlefield,
and it's doing good work. Like they haven't gotten a kill yet, I don't think, but like that's a considerable amount of farms that just can't be used. And
yeah, no, definitely. Oh, siege workshop too. So that is gonna be quite the fast counter to the towers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even really think they need it, but just
probably not.
Absolutely not giving Ofelia a chance to do anything.
Yeah, no, definitely. We can see some archers coming in here from Noelle, which is a little bit confusing, but
I think there's potential. Like, the problem is her food eco is so weak, she's been focusing on towers, but otherwise, like, enough spearmen can still kill knights. Like, it's not gonna be fun, but it's gonna work.
Yeah.
But all that needs is any sort of siege, like 2 scorpions and those spearmen die. And that's just the advantage of being in Castle Age. It's so important, especially in team games.
Yeah, no, exactly. Also, I just gotta point out that I love Ophelia's tiny little house here in Ning space. I don't know why, but it just does it for me.
When did that even go up?
I have no idea.
That must have been that zebra villager that was pretending to be a part of Ning's base. That must be the same villager. But yeah, I mean, Ophelia's trying to get up palisade walls here, but rams are out, knights are out, and just they have nothing to respond with. Dragon is on her way to castle. She douched and has been tower rushed back as after she douched, and she's still gonna get up to castle before Noelle or Ofelia even get anywhere close. There are a handful of spearmen, and like again, the one thing they have now is an uphill advantage, but I mean, knights are mobile, they can just take that uphill advantage and say thank you very much.
Yeah, no, exactly. And even though there's a ram lost here, like luring out those villagers is so good for the knights. It's not looking pretty here. It's really not.
She has fewer villagers than there are minutes in this game, and she might lose her last access to more villagers very soon. But she is at least keeping alive, and with enough spearmen, I'm hesitant, but there is potential. At least they're keeping Dragon's eco pretty inefficient. Like, she's had to spread out. Maybe some raiding men-at-arms could actually crush the rest of it with these towers keeping her farms busy. What is Noelle doing? Oh yeah, Noelle's, I think she's just going to keep up the watchtower pressure here in the north. Yep, another tower.
I like it when I see players be dedicated like that. And I'll leave it at that to stay diplomatic.
Yeah, I mean, this is just such a tough situation. Again, Ning and Dragon are so good at just coordinating that unrelenting aggression, just keeping it up and saying, you don't get to have a second. You get to have a 1/10 of a second, if that, and then we're coming back at you. And Dragon's just gonna get up an immediate siege workshop here. Maybe those those scorpions. Yeah, 2 siege workshops.
Oh, 2 siege, yeah.
Yeah, might be just time for scorpions then. And yeah, spearmen are all Noelle and Ofelia has to try to counter this. And here's the thing, a villager in 1v1 combat actually beats the spearman that's unupgraded. And, I mean, this is a good number of knights. That's another thing, too, is that... I don't think it's actually gonna go that far at this point. Like, I think the game is gonna end very soon, I feel like. But in a map like this, it's really easy to get a hold of those relics, because everything is so close, and Lithuanians are gonna be very thankful for those relics.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I also want to go on the record to say that do not take this as a real-life comparison. Do not fist fight someone with a spear.
Also very good point. Look, they have like a knife. They have like a kitchen knife. It's something.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I still have reservations about that matchup, but yeah.
Yeah, like it's something to see an army of feudal age spearmen just trying to desperately take down siege workshops and scorpions.
Yeah.
And like scorpions need some numbers, but 4 of them are probably enough to make enough of a dent in the spearman army that the knights can just mop up the rest. And now there are 4 rams out here. Yeah, I think Ning and Dragon, the way they're looking at this, they're like, if we leave this, there's potential for Noelle and Ofelia to make it to Castle Age. We're not gonna give them that potential. Stone walls are trying to come up here, just anything to keep them away from the TC.
And honestly, something that I absolutely love about Dragon going for the Scorpions is the fact that she suddenly have that range to keep the villagers away from walling off, from repairing and all of that stuff.
This town center is just gone. It's going down.
And the towers will very shortly too.
You know, we talk a lot about Ofelia losing her town centers, but she's had 2 town centers and both of them have been lost in the first 30 minutes. And this is a giant engagement, but with all of these scorpions, all of these upgraded knights on the field, every scorpion bolt is dealing 12 damage to probably 3 or 4 units at a time. It's just not enough.
Yeah, no, exactly. And there is the GG as well from Ofelia.
What an ending!
That is quite the ending for sure.
To this set, to this tournament.
Yeah.
Ning and Dragon goes up on Ofelia Noelle's home map and says, "We can do this better than you can." We are angry, we are aggressive, and we're gonna take that to the bank.
Yeah, no, definitely. Again, I always think of Lithuanians as being these late game monsters, but no, not needed apparently.
No, just like the thing is too is like it's so smart again to just deprive Ofelia of any resources, because like it makes sense, right, to have Noelle be playing as the more annoying player here. She's on Celts, she can, you know, use that extra wood eco, and then like Ofelia just uses the general Viking eco and gets like good longswordsmen, definitely not berserks, and archers, and just uses that. And like the thing is too, when you're getting tower rushed, I think especially in a team game, the immediate answer that's sometimes good, if you can't fight tower rush, you go to raid their home eco. Same thing with a douche. But because it, like, both of these are so coordinated that, like, there was just no time to raid, because if you let go of your defense for a moment, 4 battering rams are at your feudal HTC.
No, exactly, and again, like, just absolutely beautiful execution from Dragon and Ning here. I loved, as you mentioned, the early depriving of the resources, getting those zebras out of the way instantly. And yeah, no, just keeping up that pressure, because again, it's such a good example of coordination from Dragon and Ning, where first Ning goes in and deprives her of those resources while keeping the threat up, and suddenly Dragon can come in with a douche right after.
Yeah, I'm so curious how long this, because this is such a specific strat, the instant Lithuanian drush into a Teuton douche. Like, it's such a specific strat that worked so well together that, like, this can't have just been something they discussed in the lobby leading up to the game, right? They were ready for Socotra.
No, exactly. It's let me clarify something. This was Noelle and Ophelia's pick, or?
Yeah, this was their second home map.
That is really impressive. Yeah. I guess I'm not like overtly surprised, because as I talked to you about during the break, more often than not, it's always the players with a unique playstyle and whatnot that usually comes out in top because it's so unpredictable. And the same very much goes for this map, and it was very unpredictable right from the start.
Yeah, Again, I think when Dragon sent her like 9-10 villagers forward, I think I like said very quickly like, oh shit, she's sending villagers to join the fight. Looked back at her TC to be like, she has no economy back home, and then I just see the TC get deleted, and I'm like, oh no, it's way worse than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, that oh so famous Teutonic douche.
Yeah, you don't see it a lot. You don't
You
see it a
don't.
lot, but I mean, it's hard to say it wasn't used to some degree of perfection here.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, with that honestly legendary game, we have finally a winner. Abby and Dragon taking it 3-1 over Noelle, Cat, and Ofelia. Abby and Ning are the same person, by the way. They use different names, but yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
our first
All right.
Rivalries Cup. Thank you very much for coming on, Lilith. That was a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
thank you for having me.
I did not expect it to end like that, but I am on some level very happy that it did.
No, definitely. Really fun games to watch, even more fun to cast. Even though I, again, felt very much at a loss for words. You can only use so many words to comment on things dying.
Yeah, no, like, it was, as soon as either of these teams took an advantage, it wasn't let go of ever. Like, there was so hard, once those first early fights went in pretty much any of these games, it just stayed in there. In whatever team got it, they just took the ball and ran with it for the rest of the game. Once those battle elephants came in game 2, once there was that crossbow mass in game 3, yeah, there was these players are experienced enough for sure, especially as a team, to not let go of those advantages.
Yeah, most definitely. Again, really lovely games that we saw today, and I am really happy to have seen them and even been part of casting them for sure.
Yeah.
So once again, thank you for having me on, Katja.
Thank you for being here. And with that, we will call Historical Rivalries Cup to its close. Congrats again to Ning and Dragon.
Yep, big congratulations indeed. Definitely well earned.
Yes, and thank you all for watching, and hopefully we will see you in the next tournament. Woo! Bye bye!
Goodbye!